minutes later, we're still here. Okay, guys. If you've ever thought that you need an office space, full-time staff, or money to do any of this first before you start out your business, then think again, because I'm going to share with you how today I have built a multi-million naira company without either or both. Okay, if you're curious, let's dive in. Let me just start with taking you back to where it all started. I was juggling a full-time, or let me say I was juggling full-time employment, full-time jobs in several places while I was freelancing with my services and my gifts as a book editor, proofreader, and a publisher for 9 whole years. I worked tirelessly. I was, trying to build my business. I was trying to make sure that this business that I had committed to thrives in spite of my hanging on to full-time jobs. And the turning point was when I realized that working remotely, working from home, working flexible locations, hiring contract or part-time staff and talents who were super at their jobs was not just convenient, but was a superpower, especially in a time like the period I had done this, especially when it was not yet COVID-19, especially because it wasn't even common. Yeah. And it was my best decision yet. I drew inspiration for working with 2 other organizations full-time who operated this way, and it gave me such a mind shift that gave me the courage to start. If today is your first time seeing my face, welcome. My name is Chisom, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about financial freedom, especially because I'm committed to sharing all I'm learning about money, opportunities, and business. And this is particularly a 30 days motivational video series where I'm sharing my personal story to help you firm up your decision to do business big time. And I'm sharing all of the tools that worked for me, all of the strategies, all of the people, and all of the truths that sometimes are not told on the street, at home, and all that when it comes to starting out a business. Thank you so much for watching. Right, and I tag this being Chisom, just being me, right? And this is a good time for you to give this video a thumbs up, and please let me know where you're watching from. Hi Luciano, hi Emily, welcome to the stream. I'm super excited to see you. Here is the truth. An office can be very expensive for somebody who is starting out with an idea, with a skill. It can actually be so expensive to think about, oh, I need to rent an office space or maybe build one. And it can also be unnecessary, really. Like, why do you really need it? If you watched episode 5, I had already unpacked why it's not a good idea for small business owners to start off with a lot of overhead costs. Instead of investing in tools, in people, we sometimes just think that we need stuff like that, to be able to start a business, to be able to look like a business. But I'm here to share with you my journey. And the truth is that when it was happening, I didn't think it was a good idea. I didn't think it was a good strategy, but I came to see that this is what I could afford at the time. And then it became a strategy for me because, think about it. Why bother when something works for you, right? I know that feeling of not also feeling like it's okay, right? Please give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe if you're on the stream. Let me know where you're watching from. Hi, Akash. Akash is from India. I can see your flag. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ooh, well, have you ever realized that sometimes people, when they want to start business, say things like, oh, I need money to start. I need capital to start. Well, now let's put this straight. It depends on the kind of business now, right? If it's a business that needs inventory, maybe. But even at that, using my method that has worked for me for 15 years, I really don't think that you need anything and you need to put down any money up front to be able to start any business at all, whether it's a service business or a product business. And this is why I say so. It has worked for me. And I also know that there is affiliate marketing these days where you can do drop shipping or use that model of business to thrive. Because what is the reason for business entirely? Business is to get goods and services to those who need them, right? And then if you can get goods and services to people who need them by expanding the market share of a particular manufacturer or service provider, being the middle person, you will also make money, right? So there's so much that has happened since COVID, especially where we now have remote jobs and all that. And then it started feeling like our method was, the norm, or it's normal, but it was not always the normal back in the days. And I was not always proud to have told the story how I run this business where I don't have to spend on costs like that, like extra NEPA bill, office rent, full-time staff, just because I wanted to look corporate. In fact, just recently, somebody also tried to school me on why my company should actually have a face where other people are co-owning it and other people are seeing. And even though it's a good idea, I said, okay, but that's not just our model, right? This is what has worked for us. And so far, I'm going to break it down to you exactly how you can start. So if getting an office space, getting full-time staff, looking for money to do all that is what has been holding you back, then take a chill pill. Let me give you the lowdown how you can start today. I get that the main idea is, do you have a good idea that you have a solution to a problem that somebody is having? If you do, where is this person, or where are this group of people, and how else can you achieve this service getting to them beyond the traditional way you have always thought about it, right? Today we have tools like cloud services. Now, my service is editing, proofreading, publishing, and even right now we are providing 360-degree publishing services, which incorporates writing, designing, publishing, and printing, as well as marketing for busy executives, leaders, people who are conscious of legacy, right? Now, if I needed to have an office before I do this, I know a lot of people think so, but then I have grown a global team across the world that we do this effortlessly now. And that's the model I want to share with you, exactly how we did it and what has been working for us. Well, these are the three major strategies I would say that has helped me think that way and has helped my company, Logos Audibles, thrive in 15 years of business. Yeah. First of all, when I started out in 2009, I was just wanting to provide proofreading services and editing, and as a person, yeah, like an individual. But as my client services or needs increased, as they inquired more about, do you need, can I get a designer to do a book cover for me? Can I get a good printer to print my books? I soon discovered that I was a service provider, and I went ahead to create what I call channel partners. So see how we did, see how it worked, and it still works, right? I hired talented CEOs, talented freelancers who on a project basis worked with us anytime we need their services and paid them well. Now, how do we ensure that we pay them well? Number one, I went ahead myself, I and my partner at the time, I went ahead to get this discussion had, like we discuss with all of these people. First of all, identifying who and who, which and which services do we need to add extra value to our clients, depending on what our clients were looking for, and even beyond that. And then we identify people who were providing these services, and we are very great at it, not just anybody, right? We hired people who had stuff to lose, right? Do you understand? Like people who will not play with timelines, people will not play with quality, people who wouldn't play with delivering their services properly. And then we had a meeting with them. First of all, we asked their prices like we were trying to hire them for a project. They told us their normal services. Then we told them what we were about, right? So we had a discussion where we came about incorporating their prices within our own prices. So what we did is, you work this way, okay, we also complement. So if we're going to, for instance, if we're going to edit books and come to you to do cover designs for us, how much do you charge? And let's say they say, for instance, $10. All we did is to have our price list that now reflects that we do proofreading and editing, and as well as book cover design, and we can make the book cover design for our company $12. You get what I mean? $2 extra is for us, is for managing the process, is for the communication back and forth, is for delivering the service using these people's expertise. Do you get what I mean? So, and I remember it was just divine, if you ask me. It came to me at that time, and when we implemented it, what shocked me most was the excitement and the way most of the CEOs embraced the idea of working with us. And also we negotiated on the fact that whenever we had to outsource our work to them, they were going to put it on priority list, right? As if they were our partners. Yes, they are our partners now. Because when I would say it's divine, I didn't know any company that was doing it at the time. It just came to me as an individual, and then I shared with my team, and that was exactly what we had done for years. We called them channel partners, and like I said, this was as far back as 2010 and all that. This gave me flexibility in my mind. This gave me assurance on my mind, and it kept our cost very low. Now, knowing their pricing for their service helped us to know what the industry pricing was about, and adding a top up on it helped us to stay within the industry price range, still providing good services, and providing those services alongside our services, which complement, made our clients happier. Yeah. At every point in our business in Logos Audibles, in my company, we had not more than 2 to 3 full-time staff at a time. Full-time in the sense that these are people who have been there consistently, including myself then, of course. And these are people who work like partners and only get paid for their contributions per project. So still, even though we have had 2-3 people who are full-time every time, we still didn't lay claim to having being paid salaries consistently with or without anything. That way, everybody has put in their best in making sure that the company prospers, that the company has clients, that the company is first. Right? This is very important to me to share, and I feel kind of relieved even sharing, because of my personality, which of course has also impacted the way we do business at Logos Audibles. I haven't really had to compare with any other company or how people do things, even though I read wildly every day and I see what's possible and what is not. Immediately it was working for us. We didn't need to have any other additions, and as the years transgressed and technology improved, we had even more tools to keep our remote team together, share our vision, have bonding retreats, travel in between town to see each other, and it's just been perfect. Yeah, and what has made this work is the transparency in relationship. We have built relationship with service providers across different strata, across different cities, across different countries, across different tribes, across different levels of professional skill, and it has worked. Yeah, so that's strategy number 1 that has worked for us at Logos Audibles. The second one is that we built systems. Let me explain. We're able to build a particular way of doing stuff. So when it comes to onboarding, service provision, carrying our clients along, we have had a template which we didn't set out as a template before, but we have worked it the same way, and it has produced the same result, and it has become something that everybody knows that this is our system of delivery, right? When it comes to our emailing system, getting back to our clients. We have used different efficient systems and tools, automated some to reduce errors by far, because that was one of my biggest fears. Like, people being able to take responsibility for their work, people being able to know that they were first, put their best foot forward. And for every service provider, videographer, video editor, graphic designer, book designer, book interior designer, illustrators, we have evolved. And then editors that are more in number, editors and writers are usually the more in number in our company. And most recently, we are adding marketers, salespeople as part of our growth strategy. It has been such an amazing time to automate things. We have been able to use tools, online tools to stay connected, to share files, to make inputs and corrections, and to work even faster and smarter, right? That's another thing that has worked for us. Another thing that has worked for us in terms, even though I've touched it a bit, but I'll take it as my third strategy that has worked, is that we have been able to build trust among partners, among us as service providers, and between us and our clients over the years. I had to make sure that every client felt like they were our top priority. And if you listen to one of the episodes I mentioned, this had led us to have repeat customers, referrals. Most of our clients are like our family members, and it has just been amazing. It taught me a few things, that at the end of the day, we humans like to do business with humans, people who make them feel happy, and we have gone above and beyond because of the relationship we built with our clients to provide even more value adding to their projects. So there are certain things that by the time we provide and we cost them, we offer others as a freebie, because we know, we'll know that our services, we need it, right? Emily, welcome to the chat live stream. African Tales and Beats, thank you so much. Please pardon me. I also will not deny the place of challenges. Now, some of the challenges we have had, of course, nothing is easy. Nothing good comes easy, right? It wasn't easy. It has not been easy over the years. And while this wasn't a template we set out to, we just followed what was able to work. We put our customers first. And over the years, it has turned out to be the very best decision ever. Managing a remote team comes with its own dose of challenges. You have to deal with individual people's convenient time and schedule and time zones and communication gaps. You have to be sure that, how do I explain this? Let me try and explain it. When you are speaking to someone and trying to get them to do work, you have to put out your mind that this person is first a human being, and you don't want to sound like you are just all about work. You want to check up on them, their family, and all that. That plays a good role. I don't know what's called in communication, but being able to be empathetic while dealing with people you're working with. We also have been very inclusive, not in the sense where people look at inclusive. We have people on our team who naturally, some people will think people are disabled, but very smart, talented people. We have been able to incorporate everyone into our work. With the right systems we have, we've been able to make it big time at that time, and it's still working for us big time right now. Also, staying disciplined, I think, is one of the biggest challenge in a good way. If it's going to be sustainable to keep a large team, a global team. I remember where one of our prime partner editors had to move and relocate to another country. It was therapeutic, but that was when it dawned on me, like, okay, so nothing changed. Emails are still the avenue we use. And then since then we have expanded beyond the borders, and we've been able to open up our business, to more international people, using the work from home style of entrepreneurship for me. and all that. It took time for me to master it because remember, I started this business while working a 9 to 5. I was also used to using the offices where I occupied working for other people as operational basis. I remember back in 2012, 2013, I would have some of our partner, our staff come in to take instructions, to submit reports, to take off and come back with reports and all that. So yeah, it's just been a journey. And yeah, if there's any other challenge, I really don't have a lot because we have hugely relied on the online system. We have relied on, making sure that our customers are comfortable. I remember just recently when we were trying to carry out a book interview, sometimes we have to ask our client the kind of platforms they prefer. Some will prefer a one-on-one and will deploy staff to go meet them in their office or their homes. But 99.9% of the time, we'll discover our clients are not even asking for our office spaces in the first place. They are not asking to come to our office. They are not asking for physical meetings in that sense. And we have seen that play out a lot, and it has given us the courage to continue to provide our services and do our operations using tools online, using platforms, using cloud services, using email services, which is, of course, our number one. So, discipline has helped us a lot to stay and to master this method. Also, just a bit of an advice, don't let traditional business methods hold you back from doing business. Let me at this point even mention that in case you're somebody who has been wondering how to set up your business, especially if you're a book editor and you're thinking of growing that enterprise into a full-scale business, I invite you to join my 1-year program, online program, that teaches you everything from English grammar to operations, marketing, landing clients, discovering the tools you need and the templates you need, copy and paste everything done for you. That will help you set up your business seamlessly. It is $499 and it is a whole year of doing the actual work. In between that 1 year is a 90 days immersive program, immersive courses that can take you through all of this, and another 9 months of implementation, help, and support. Right. So I invite you to ask me in the comment section if you really want this, or send me a DM on Facebook, on Instagram or Facebook at Chisom Aka. All right. Now, if there's anything that has helped me, it's been possible to achieve all of these great results with a small setup. Now, what have we done in these 15 years? We've been able to we've been able to publish first-time authors, biographies in particular, and self-help books. We have also been able to help people, self-help books, even religious books are self-help books, right? Yeah, self-help books. We have been able to edit thousands of manuscripts for books that have been published. So we have in our library a lot of books from our clients. And also we have been able to work together. We have been able to work and provide services services with a lot of service providers like printers, graphic designers, video editors, and all of those sweet spots. Okay. I have confirmed by working this way that it is actually possible to get great results from running a lean team, from focusing on what matters, and leveraging technology and all of that. Don't let traditional ways of doing business and in thoughts hold you back from starting out your business today. Okay. Please drop your comment if you haven't. Let me know your name. Hi, Vera. Vera, welcome to the live stream. Also, great to have you here. Okay, so what did we actually do to be able to make millions working with a lean team? Number one, remember remember all that I told you in episode 1 to 5, how it was difficult for me to name my prices even when I started as a loaner, and how somebody paid me 21,000 naira for 60,000 words of manuscript, and I felt like I was in heaven. It felt like it was $21 million as long as I was concerned back in 2010. We have grown since then into expanding our team, but much more into expanding our services, like I mentioned in episode 5, right? So what started out as me providing proofreading and editing services got to places where we had to remember the clients I told you that had to school me on pricing. After paying me and we worked with him for 9 months, he said, "You charged me so low." So I had a brain reset. So even when my team were telling me, "No, I think we should make this higher, make this lower," and I was resisting, that particular incident gave me a mind shift in 2013, right? And I looked at my prices and I said, okay, so who do I want to serve? I also have told you about how I had to lose some customers who were always returning, I mean, it was something that if I didn't understand, I think that what even gave me the morale not to feel down and rush after them and say, okay, sorry, let's do it, is because I had a 9 to 5 job, remember, and I had several 9 to 5 jobs working within the 9 years gap that I felt was cushioning my bills. If not, it was enough to make somebody say, oh no, I think I got it wrong this time. That was when I increased our prices significantly to cover our operational time, activity, and all that. Also, remember, I mentioned that in 2015, I became paralyzed in one part of my body. I woke up paralyzed in one part of my body. That was another time of, well, how they say it now? Is it a eureka moment or something? That maybe to think hard about why I should work so hard, work 9 to 5 jobs, work in my company, and then work as a blogger, working 3 whole jobs, and because I enjoyed them and earning so little, right? And that was another significant time in our business that made me accept to increase prices and began to learn. It took me also to take online courses from different Nigerian coaches in particular and also abroad. I remember the secret bloggers, um, a lady who runs Secret Bloggers Incorporated. I learned so much from her. I remember Stephanie Obi in Nigeria, who was the one that taught me a whole lot about, you know, doing your prices. I remember Dr. Obon Kings. Everybody who knew me, who supported my business, knew that I had a major problem with pricing in particular. And that's why I laugh when now in my alumni, in the alumni of my editor's business school, when people come and say, "Oh, coach, I did this." Some people come with crying that I've already gotten a manuscript only to discover that I priced so low and the person has already paid a deposit. What do I do, coach? And we try to troubleshoot, and I tell them these things happen even to the best of us, right? Not being able to, and I've talked about the place of also trauma, the relationship we have about money and the way it shaped us from childhood is also part of the reason why a lot of us shy away from money, shy away from being rewarded for our work, shy away from even knowing how much our efforts is really worth, right? And these are things I had to battle with as a person, as somebody who is leading the team in a company, going back and forth with teams, some team members understanding, some thinking it was too much, all that back and forth is there. But being the fact that I didn't have to be paying big rents, which is maybe something about me also avoiding risk, made it even much better. I feel that God was just helping me stay within a cocoon to learn myself, because as a leader, if you don't learn, your services, your team will not grow, right? Because everybody will depend on me for direction. And these are some of the things that has helped. Also, apart from having channel partners and building trust and looking after and being customer first or client first, I have also grown immensely through making sure that I rely on um, on what do I say, on other people, on learning from other people. When I started my company in 2009, I remember I didn't have any company in my country that I could look at to say, okay, so how are they doing this? Or I could talk to. Unlike today, where there are hundreds and hundreds of people, I can easily call up and say, oh, so how do you do this? Okay, let's partner on this and all that. So that was also a huge problem. I had only Google to tell me what other people are doing in other clients. And I had the shivers when I had to convert into Naira, because my currency is not at par with those currencies. Even at that time, talk less of now, there's a huge disparity. So sometimes it can be a huge challenge for somebody starting out, like, what should I even charge? And what will I charge that is okay? And what should I charge that will put me out of market? And the learning helped me to also be able to learn things like, decide a customer avatar. Who exactly do you want to serve? Because think about it, just the same way we insist on having a contract before we work on people's intellectual property, their manuscript, and all that. There was a time it wasn't a big deal for me. Yeah, exactly. If you don't learn, your team will not grow. Exactly. And I struggle with that a lot. Just the same way we do that contracting, we also um, don't don't bother if somebody is not our ideal client. I think that that's another thing that helped us grow, and I had to learn it before my team could learn it, and it becomes a system we work with. Because over time, I had worked with people of any climb, people who will even ask me, "How much do you charge?" And I'm jittery. And then I come back to the team and say, I messed up. I just couldn't tell her or him how much we charge. And I think he's going to pay us this and this, to a place where I was charging 50 naira a page, to a place I still remember I moved from 50 naira a page to 150 naira a page to 500 naira a page. And all of that time, I didn't know what other people were charging, because they weren't really companies to look up to and say, okay, how are they doing it? After a while, from consistently doing it, and I learned somewhere also that when you mention your price and people don't argue, then you're charging very low. Whether it's the truth or not, but I think that some people will even charge you so that they don't make you feel like they're comfortable with your price. But I had to get out of that zone really fast by just deciding this is how we want to work. I remember a particular year between 2008 and 2019, rather, the most recently, where it looked like we were not having clients. Like there was a really dry period, and I went back to the drawing board and said, okay, so what are we not doing right? What are we not doing? And it hit me that you have to just be sustainable. That was the time we started doing ghostwriting. We started incorporating ghostwriting, and even our referrals, which we had so relied on, it wasn't coming. So there's just a lot of things in business that sometimes, if you're not resilient, if you're not passionate, if you don't know why you started, it can be a big problem. So we got into the million flow at the point we decided to serve a particular kind of people and stick to our prices. Our prices at that time, I remember so many times feeling like I mentioned a price, somebody makes a deposit, the manuscript starts. This is a manuscript I also have reviewed, like I told you, and have never done a job that I didn't really review first before pricing. Okay, well, early in the days, maybe I did. But then when I was in charge of purely just, doing the reviews and pricing, I had so many times that even after the review, when they now pay the deposits we are asking them to pay, and I start the work, I discovered that this work will take me much more time and much more headache for little money. And then if that is the first emotion you feel, trust me, you will only struggle to bring out a masterpiece, because you're already feeling low, you're feeling worthless, you're feeling cheated. One of our students just recently even mentioned that she had that kind of situation where she said, I just feel as if I'm used, I'm being used. I think the person tried to cheat me, that kind of thing. I said, no, don't think like that. But I remember that was how I used to feel then. And I'm like, but the person did not force me. I was the person that charged the person. I was the person that even agreed to give them discount, even when I knew that it was already tight. I was the one that said, okay, maybe I'll give you 10% discount. Because at that time, I didn't even have a policy on discount. Like, what is the highest amount of what am I saying? Amount of discounts that is possible in the company. We must have all of those policies. You can't just quote fee off your head. You can't just give 10% discount. The maximum discount we give is 5%. And that means there are some projects you can give 1%, 2%, 3%. Do you understand? And there are conditions of also doing that. It took us a lot of failing, a lot of feeling. Finally decided, when you mention your price and people don't argue, then you're charging low. Exactly. Somebody said that recently, some time ago, and I said, wow, really? Okay, I started thinking about it. I haven't verified whether it's really true, because I know that some people, oh my God, I don't even know what to say, but I know that people who go all out to get quality for their work, sometimes will also price, right? And it's not because they want to bend your neck so much, because even up to maybe few days ago, we had a premium client. Well, all our clients now are premium, let me put it like that. But they still priced and said, oh, why don't you remove XY amount for us? And we said, okay, by our policy, this is how much we can, how much discount we can give you. And they willingly paid, right? It didn't used to be like that. It used to be like, oh my God, back and forth, and you are dealing with the emotion of, I don't want to lose these clients. This money can do so much for me. And when you're in that place, you're going to end up regretting it. You're going to end up regretting it. And so when we put our prices, we didn't compete on pricing. I'm still talking about how we got into the Million Flow. Please, if you haven't liked this video, please like it. And if you haven't joined this family, this is Chisom Gang, please go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell button so that you don't miss any more notifications and any more videos right here. Okay, I remember also when we decided to do our online course, because remember I spoke in the fifth episode how we evolved, how we scaled. So from providing proofreading and editing services, we got into providing author services as a whole, doing the design, depending on what the client want, illustrations, printing and all that. Then after we scaled even further into beginning to teach the practices of editing, because that was one of the processes that was so tough, that were learned by tears and sweat. And when we got it right, we said we need to export this template to help other people not to struggle. By 2018 was when I started that training, and it was another way to scale the business. Back in 2018, that course was 25,000 naira, and we trained 3 people at the start. And today, so many people are still like looking for that kind of course at 25,000 naira, but looking at it, it's not fair to give people a course you have sold 7 years ago, 25,000 naira in 2025. So our prices has evolved, and we have learned the act of not being shaken, because before we peg our prices, we have already considered all that it will take us. Our courses has also moved from like one-off courses to courses that we actually pay. We pay for platforms that we subscribe yearly. So if we're going to pay for those services to hold our course for people to take them, and we are paying those people some money, we also have to make that money to pay them. We also have to make profits. And even though they are online courses, we are also very focused on the value that we are giving. So we have come to the point where we are not shaking about price. We are not doing, oh, that's not what other people used to charge. 100,000, why should we make it 400,000? We have passed that level, and it came with, like I said, experience and being able to serve people who were really, because again, just like when we started scaling, we discovered that even people will pay for courses, very expensive courses at that time, and may not even have the time to take it. So as people struggle, you notice their struggles, you begin to also help them adjust and provide what will work for them, because it was from our clients' struggles, even without asking us, that made us make our online courses a 1-year immersive program. So that if you're unable to take the course within that 60 days or 30 days or 90 days, you also have batches of 30 days. You can decide to do it within the year, and we follow up and all that. So scaling helped us as well to get into the Million Flow. Our editing services became competitive pricing. I don't want to say high end, because I know there are people that still charge higher, but we focus on our prices, and we attracted the kind of clients who wanted them. Because working on a book, for instance, is not something somebody that is not about to give value can do. Pricing is very sensitive, as well as the process of publishing. So if somebody wants their book edited but don't have the budget to pay, we don't want to be the people serving them, because it will slow down our operations, it will make us demotivated, it will make us not give our best. So these are things we discovered that are high stakes that we cannot gamble with. So we put our price where it is convenient for us, and then we stay there and keep refusing work and sending people and say, okay, we wish we can work with you, but since you're not ready, maybe next time. We even sometimes recommend other people who maybe charge a bit lower or affordably according to their budget to them, and then you see people just say, no, I don't want to work with them, I want to still work with you people. We have seen it all, really. We have seen it all. I remember that it just dawned on me late last year that we are 15 years in business, and I was like, how? And I had always wanted to tell this story, but sometimes I just felt, okay, so this was the perfect time to do it. Okay, I also mentioned how we used to have a website and we used to pay for it. Every year we subscribe and it wasn't bringing us any leads. And I said, no more. We have gone through all of those routes. And that's why in my editor's business course, I take participants through all of the process. What is necessary, what is not, bootstrap and grow. Because we suffered so that you don't have to suffer again, And another thing that, like I said, that I also took us to where we make millions every month. I've mentioned the courses. The courses haven't been a major contributor to our millions yet in that sense, but the editing services and the publishing services also help. Also, we learned to create offers. I think this was the game changer for me. We learned how to create offers. So beyond just which services are you providing, we went into what do we want to solve for our clients. So even the person who wants to edit their work, they might need help with how their book cover design comes out. They might need help with if the title of their book is market worthy. Is it market attractive? So we do all of that consultancy. We will need help with how they write even the blog, the about the book section for the back of the book, how it is written. It has to be highly technical copywriting that will make it magnetic when somebody picks up the book and reads it, that will make the person want to purchase it. So we identify the different components of the process that sometimes we gloss over, as people in the industry, and made it extra services that our clients get when they are able to pay our fee. Right? That helped us. Also, we also did what I call the 360 publishing services. This is one I'm really excited about. So if you're somebody that, because of your work schedule or your personality or your skill at writing, you have so much to write about. Why I'm smiling is that every day now I talk with top executives who need this service, and it gives me joy, because I know when we got to this point last year, it was also because the client was demanding for it. And it hit me that even though we have done this service over and over again, which is helping clients write, edit, design, publish, print, market, all of the, all the whole 9 yards. We have done it, but we didn't put ourselves as service providers who do this. We didn't create an offer around it. When we started doing it mid last year, 2024, because the client wanted it, and it dawned on me that everything changed, right? Talking with an executive today who said, oh my God, this subject, we have clients who come to share with us their success stories. One of our clients today just came in and said, finally, I'm ready to write the book, because she had a major milestone that she had accomplished at her career. And she said, I'm finally ready to do this. You guys should give me an idea of how the book should be, and it gave me joy, because sitting in that consultation early this afternoon, I said, we did something right. All the pains and all the wahala of years, it paid off, because at the end of the day, we have clients who can trust us and say, I have this book idea, how to come out, how to make it come out. People literally send us their idea and say, oh, see what I want to write about, you do something about it. Is amazing. It's an amazing place today. So we are 7 clients who are no longer dragging our 50,000 naira off or 10,000 naira off with us. They are saying, give me everything. We are having clients who are not asking, who money is no longer the problem, who are seeing beyond the money, who are saying, I want an excellent service, I want the best print. And today we are better off because also there are a lot of service providers for us to work with. I'm so glad, because what used to be a challenge for us, I used to do the legwork myself that time. I used to go to different printing houses, sit down with them, go through the ranks, go through the work. We also do that till now, especially when we need to increase, when we need to get more service provided that are specific to certain countries or cities, because sometimes we want to pay for a client, but you want it to be profitable. So for instance, if a client is in Cameroon, you don't want to print in Nigeria and then start shipping to Cameroon sometimes. So sometimes you can look at it and say, okay, we've been printing from here. Why don't you find if there's somebody who has the same quality of print in Cameroon or somewhere closer, so that you can serve customers from that place. So we are constantly discovering different service providers that meet our quality and incorporating them into our channel partners list. It makes things easy. Like, I mean, sorry, for me as a person, I feel like I'm in my chill period, where I'm just chilling and doing what I have to do. And again, I would reiterate that why I think we have made millions over the years also is because we kept our operations low. I didn't allow people make me lose self-esteem by saying, oh, but you need a physical office. If you want people to take you serious, for people to take you seriously, you need a physical office. I didn't allow all of those to move me, and I was able to explain to my team all of the time why that is not even necessary. And then they saw for themselves, like, how many clients have called and say, oh, where is your office? I'm coming right away. Over the years, I can tell you, if it has happened, maybe not up to 3-4 times. I'm not kidding you. Nobody has said, oh, so where is your physical office? I want to come and meet you. Yes, as it is not up to, I can still remember the people who actually came to visit us in our office. Right? And my office also had been in different places according to where I am. So when you want to see our office, that means you want to see me. Yeah. Or in some countries where maybe where I don't live, people who are not in Nigeria who want to see us, they will send one of our representatives to have a meeting with them and all that. It's just been amazing. I've seen that. Also, I give kudos to the social media and all of those internet tools, because it has made people interconnected in a way that people can trust you when they see the value you bring. When they know that you have a lot to lose, like if you try to cheat me, just going online to publish something about you will damage your image, and you have been invested in this thing for years, so you have something to lose. So they know that you can't do much, and it's been working well for us. And I remember not hiring a full-time staff also came because having been in 9 to 5 for the first 9 years of my business, I remember I told all about it in Module 3, I think. I remember working 9 to 5 jobs for 11 years in corporate Nigeria, and I keep wondering, what is the need? Why can't I just clock in and do 4 hours and go when I'm in my best creative mood? Why can't I do 2 hours? Why can't I choose to do 8 hours by myself when my creative juices are flowing? What is the need of clocking in by 7:30 every day and staying till 6:30, just to 6:30 p.m. or 6 p.m. just because I'm being paid salary? So that mindset also gave me the decision that it's not about people staying around, hanging around in your office, using your internet to play games or using the internet to browse. Let people be paid specifically for the job that they do, and they can do other things with their lives. You know that in Logos Audibles, then, even now, when we try to hire you, we'll ask you for your plan. Like, what's your exit plan? How long you want to work with us? What is your plan outside working for us? What else are you going to be doing? So that people are not sneaky. People are not thinking, oh, okay, I'm working with this, but I'm going to run my business on the ground. There's no need for it, right? We live in a highly enterprising world right now. Somebody can be working for you and is trading cryptocurrency. That person cannot stop their trading just because they're working for you. As long as they can have the concentration to do their bits, pay them for what they can do and let them live their normal lives. I don't also believe, like I said in the past episode, I don't believe that every day an individual must wake up and work. Do you understand? It kills creativity. I know it killed mine when I was working for people. So I use myself as a case study. I don't believe that every day is for work for every human being. No, you can wake up some days that you're not just up for regular work, sitting down somewhere. Sometimes you just want to sleep in. Sometimes you just want to still be under your into afternoon. It's okay, because your mental and emotional health has to be in place for you for your creativity to flow, right? So because of those experiences I had and those mindsets I have, I also wanted to revolutionize the way we do things in my home country. So when COVID now happened and remote working became even popular, I was like, it took you guys a whole lot to get here. We've been doing this and we've been smashing it all along. And I think that what also happened is that this also gives team members respect for each other when they know that, so everybody meets and say, this person is our head of operation, but he's also the CEO of this and this. You get what I mean? This person is our editor-in-chief for this segment, for non-fiction or for fiction, but they're also the CEO of this. It's just beautiful if you ask me. and I've enjoyed it, and I implore you, so don't let conventional things, traditional things hold you back. I know that I'm a very how do I put it now? I'm a very, how there's a no nonsense, maybe not no nonsense, but I'm somebody that you can hardly influence. Let me put it like that. Let me tell you a bit about me, personal. I haven't said this before. Just to let you know how much of not a push around I am. I'm not somebody you can push around. Let me put it like that. So I admire people and I love people genuinely. I am very kind by my personality, and sometimes it can be taken out of it can be taken for granted. I know that, but I am also not somebody that can be easily influenced. Oh, because people are doing this, let's also do that. Do you understand? And I remember as a teenager when boyfriend was a thing, everybody was like, oh, 12, 13, 14, if you don't have a boyfriend, you're not in. I always used to look at my mates there like, you guys must have very low IQ. Like, I don't understand why your body is treating you because of boyfriend, And I grew up like that, and I remember telling myself as a teenager that I'm not going to do any boyfriend. I'm not going to have any intimacy with any man or any boy. And thankfully, I kept my virginity till my 30s, and I got married in my late 30s. I am that kind of person. I'm just sharing to let you know the kind of person I can be. I am somebody that can set myself up and say, okay, even if everybody's going to the right, and I know that the right is not really right, is not, they can't boast about it, it is not the right thing to do, I will willingly take the left proudly. In secondary school, like when I was in SS1, SS2, I had roommates. Actually, my bunkmate had a procedure, where she had to terminate a pregnancy, blah 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 blah, at SS1. And I remember just asking her questions, I remember people used to come to me and ask me, oh, what do you think I should do about this? And I was their mate. And when I wasn't older than them, I was their age mate. Because somehow I'm that kind of person that had always paid attention to what matters. And it's not about religion or not, but I just feel if everybody's going crazy, I should be the one to say, oh no, to be the voice of conscience. So that personality trait of mine is another thing I think I must give credit to how we're able to maintain our stand with our operations, with the way we hire, with the quality of work we do, and we don't compromise on quality. It doesn't matter whether we have just one client in a year. This year already, without boasting, with giving glory to God, have been our best year yet, because this is the year that just in January we have gotten a lot of work, and it's not just editing and proofreading jobs. We have gotten from scratch works, because we are currently marketing our 360-degree publishing services, where we write and we do everything for you, and at a lower price than when somebody wants to take a bit of the chunk, maybe take design, take proofreading and all that. So, and I give glory to God for that, because it has fueled our tenacity to stay there. If you want to make millions, you must make sure that you have services that are worth millions. Let me explain that. I learned this back in 2017, and it changed everything as well. So one of the things I think that helped us to get into the millions is that at some point we decided to create services that were worth millions. Now, our proofreading and editing services, on the average, looking at the usual volume of work that people do, will always earn us between 150,000 naira to about 400,000 naira. So anything in give and take in the middle. Now, if we get that to work in, there are 3 managers or 3 editors who are going to work on this. So if you look at it, you can tell what the company can keep and what the company can pay afterwards. Now, you think of a timeline of at least 3 weeks for that project. It gives you an idea of how much we earn. So, and if we have clients every other month, you will see that it's not a lot of money you're going to make by the end of the year. If you take 3 weeks and you have works consistently every 3 weeks for the month, which also is not always the case, right? You see that you're not going to earn so much. But if you have that service as one of income stream, and then you have a book branding service, that is also costed at maybe 300,000 to 500,000 naira, where you consult holistically, give people book directions and coaching and all of that, and you have 2 or 3 clients every 3 months or so. You can think about that. Then you also have to look at the higher end. So if my online courses also is there, how much will an online course be to be able to break even? You have that at the higher. I'm just giving examples. That can be the product that ends above 500. You see how I'm stepping it up from a product that ends 150 to 300 to the one that ends between 300 and 500 for every client that comes, and the one that ends between 500 and above. Then if you need to hit millions, you know that for the one that ends about 500,000, you need at least 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of them to hit the millions. If you want to focus on the product that gives you 100,000, 200,000, you need several of like 5, 10 of it to get into the millions. Okay, so we started looking at our service that way, and it had done everything for us. Also, we have learned how to market our services on their own. I mentioned that one of the things I didn't do well at, it was marketing, because I was doing a whole lot of things with my personal brand and mixing them with my business. We didn't really help people to know what I was about. So people knew me very well back in the days as a popular blogger, and they didn't even know I was a publisher, right? So my company, was working alone on his own, was making all this money on his own, in that sense. And it was only people in my personal space that maybe know what I do, what my company was about. And also, the marketing wasn't targeted. So we didn't, I myself, I didn't targetedly, what am I speaking? I didn't, where my company services, as I didn't grow personal brand. My personal brand was growing on its own. I was doing men advocacy. I was doing blogging. I was coaching on blogging. I was coaching on, So many people didn't know that I even had a business, a registered business, and I had people working for me, and we are doing this over a period of time. So that also affected how I was able to market and get jobs through my own personal brand. So I'm repositioning all of that, personally. But this is how far the business has grown all of these years doing this. I don't know if I'm not rambling this night. Let me tell you something that happened to me. I was ready for this live stream like around 6:30, and I thought, okay, let me just have a nap. And I woke up by 8:47. I ran to this desk because I'm like, oh my God. And I was just wondering, if I didn't come here, what could have happened, So I hope this video inspires you to think differently about business. I hope it also has given you an idea of how to scale your business. If you want to get into the million flow, have products that are costing millions. Our 360-degree services, for instance, is a millions. If you get just one client every month, I will have one client, God forbid, I have just one client every month for 12 months. That service will give us more than 24,000 naira in naira, which is more money because it's naira, okay? But it will give you up to that amount. And of course, that is the sales price. It's not like the profit for the company. So that's one example. So if you now put an effort in marketing it and getting at least 6 clients, 10 clients every month, you know what will happen. And I'm happy that we've come to a point where we're having clients ask for multiple titles to be written for them at once. And we have expanded our team. We have always had the human resource. The human resource has never been a problem, and I'm looking forward to working with some of you as well who are listening. Let's expand this, let's make it better, let's work together. Okay, so this is the part I ask questions. I'm sorry I didn't mention, this is the part I answer questions. I didn't mention in the beginning. One of the things you have to do is ask me questions, and you want me to explain further, so I don't go on rambling. Yeah. Please ask questions now so that I can answer. I'm really fired up to answer more questions right now, or rather to answer questions right now. Please go ahead. So I've talked about how I decided not to have to pay rent or get an office space. I mentioned how we grew our services without having to hire full-time staff that are collecting salaries. We had to work contract-based, and how we have grown that. I've mentioned how the strategies that helped us to maintain this system. I've told you how we're able to make millions, grow into making millions. and all that. If you ask me specific questions, it will help me to also direct them at you. Some people had asked me offline certain questions, and I asked them to come to this stream to ask. So this is your moment to ask. Yeah. So before you think of a fancy office, which you're going to grow into, I know somebody might be asking, so do you want to keep working like remotely? Yes, we want to work remotely, but that doesn't mean we'll not have offices. We hope to have places where people can come in and experience our books. Yeah. So we are also beginning to do interactive media storytelling for some of our authors. I'm going to tell you more about that as we go. This is a 30 days program, and we have 24 episodes to go, and I'm going to unpack more as we go. So let me have questions. If not, I'll be winding down in the next 4 minutes. 4 minutes more. Please ask your questions. Ask your questions. Thank you for joining the stream. Let me give a shout out to everybody who joined. Luciano, Emily, Akash, Muna. Oh, I didn't see Muna initially. Hi, Muna. Welcome to the stream. African Tales and Beats, Vera, Genesis, everyone, thank you so much. This is a good time to ask your questions so that we can wrap up with this. Have you learned anything? Did anything make sense to you at all? Was I making sense at all? Let me know. Okay, so question time. Fast fingers first. Who can type first? 4 minutes more. Question time. And I think I didn't also mention the part where in this 15 years, I have moved into 3 cities. I have moved myself personally, I've moved 3 cities, and that had such an impact in our company as well, but not so much because we were already like a floating company. We were already remote. If I had to move, because all the stages where I had to move were critical that I moved. And I'm wondering if I had moved, I would have like a physical office in a particular place, I would need to have been traveling back and forth to go with, to go there, maybe, but working remotely has helped me to be anywhere I want to be and still be putting the work in. Okay, so 4 minutes to going off if I don't get questions, but if I get questions, of course, I'm going to treat them. African Tales and Beat, I appreciate you too. Thank you too. Any more questions? Any questions rather? I say any more. Any questions? 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go. If you must work remotely, work from home, you must be disciplined. I think I mentioned that here. You must be disciplined. See, sometimes your bed can deceive you. Your bed will be calling you. You have to know your why. You have to open your eyes. And let me tell you what works. And this works also when you think about trying to lose weight or you want to hit the gym. If you wake up any day you want to work out and get dressed in your gym outfit, you'll be able to gym that day. But if you wake up and you're still in bed and you're still wearing your nightie and say, oh, I don't know if I should, you will not. It's the same way when you're working from home. You must wake up, say your prayer, do your early morning rituals or routines, and get in, have your bath, and wear your work clothes, and come out to that part of your house where your office is and actually work. See, this tip is very important. So working flexible locations is not mouth. If not, you won't achieve anything. Working from home takes a lot of discipline. I remember when I was doing this live stream series in December, I had to travel within 3 states in 48 hours. I still did my live stream for where I went to, right? So it's not for the weak. It's not for people who just want to be lazy, who just want to know. Sometimes getting out to an office outside might actually help some people. So work from home is actually for geniuses, if you ask me. For geniuses, and having team members who work from anywhere they are in the world. If they might be cruising on a ship, they might be on a honeymoon, they might be, and there are meetings going on. We're using our phone, we're having board meetings, and I've been blessed with amazing teams. When it comes to my Logos Audibles front, I have amazing people who get our back. When it comes to my Editors Hub, I have people who have my back. It's just been amazing to grow people who are amazing. Okay, I can see one question. African Tales and Beat. How do you handle clients who insist on you having a physical contact location? Okay, good question. Clients who insist, okay, that means the person knows that, oh, we work remotely, and the person has even maybe had a meeting with us, but insists that, why don't you have an office where I can come? That person, we will let the person know why we don't insist on an office location, because we can be anywhere at any time. And then if the person makes it a criteria before they can allow us to work on their book, or let them go. Like, we tell them thank you, but that's how we work. And yeah, if I'm not sure it has ever happened, but if it comes to that, that's what we may have to do. We really will let people know why we do what we're supposed to do. We also have to. That's when we carry our company policy on our head. Like, yeah, by our policy, we do this, we do that, we do that. We provide value. These are the things we do. These are who we have worked for. And our offices are everywhere. So really, we don't need one physical office. If we need an office, we need, as it is now, it means we need an office in Canada, we need an office in London, okay, or maybe in Birmingham. We need an office in Sweden. We need an office in Ghana and some African countries. We need an office. Yeah, if you're thinking about our spread right now, so how many offices do we want to have when we are not selling physical products? Right? If we get to the point where maybe we want to start having maybe physical bookshops where people come and buy books, maybe, but for now, it's not in our business plan. We want to give the best kind of value, amplifying thoughts for our clients, and making their stories heard, making them seen, making them leave a legacy for their family and for posterity. And that we can do working from anywhere. Our email system, thanks to Gmail and thanks to Google, we have been able to do that sustainably. Yeah, that's what I would say. Any more question? Thank you for that question, African Tales and Beats. Please, if you're on the stream, please give this video a thumbs up and ask me questions. If you're just coming in, please make sure you start from the beginning to watch, so that you can hear what has been our best practices for making millions working from home and running a business for 15 years without having to hire any rent. Those that have watched episode 1, 2, 3 will know my journey with having different offices and how people granted us offices, but they wanted more and we left them. Several things have happened. And right now, our offices are also where our staff are. Anywhere our staff is our office. Yeah, we are global. We are global now. If no other question, I will wrap up. Okay, thank you so much everyone for joining me tonight. This story series continues tomorrow, same time, 9 p.m. And please, if you want to join the Editors Business School to learn everything about the business of book editing and much more, please reach out. I'll be dropping the link, the email address for you to send us an email, and we can furnish you with details below. If you also want to have your book done, you have been thinking of how to get your book done, like our client who joined our stream this afternoon said, please also let us know in the comment section, and we'll reach out to you with how to kickstart that. You need to know that even if you want to write 10 titles, you have different aspects of your life you want to chronicle, you want to document, our team at Logos Audibles can help you do all of that. If you're also somebody who is thinking of how to make money with content, we have our upcoming online course coming and coaching where we can teach you how to make money with your content. Content Money is the name of the course. We're going to send you all of those details. Thank you for watching, and this is me signing out from Uyo in Nigeria. Have a great night or morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. Be amazing. Until I see you again tomorrow, please tag somebody along while coming to the stream tomorrow. Tell somebody to tune in as well and get all of this insight that we are having. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you, African Tales and Beat. Bye for now. Cheers.